that interest us, that can help us and get something for them that we're really trying to get. So, we got some guys we feel confident in, but at the same time, you never stop looking for anything.
Your thoughts on how Nick Leverett graded out last night?
He played tough and he played hard. Fundamentally, he can do a little bit better, but he played hard. I thought he played tough. I was proud of the fight he had.
Coach, your defense was on the field a long time, so it stands to reason they may have worn down in the second half. But there were some plays, one in particular I remember, where Devin White just is not running to the ball. Do you watch, when you watch the tape, do you single out the guys that just aren't giving that effort?
We single out loafs all the time if they're loafing. Some guys are gassed, some guys are loafing, but we single everything out.
In that instance, did you think he was loafing or was he gassed?
A little bit of both.
Todd, overall, Devin was the NFC Defensive Player of the Month for the whole league in September. Well, why do you think there's been a drop-off in his play? Why he's not the same player right now?
I don't think it's been a drop-off. I mean, defense is a team sport. You're not going to be a star by yourself. There are guys in front of you and guys behind you. To say that Devin has dropped off, I mean, the defense has dropped off, I would say. I wouldn't say Devin has dropped off. So it's about playing together. It's about making your reads and doing the right things. He's doing a lot of things we asked him to do. I have no problems with Devin.
I know sometimes with Julio, when he goes out there and plays, you gotta wait and see kind of how his body responds the day after and then 2 days after and such. How did the knee hold up last night?
After the game, he was okay. Again, I got to wait and see today and tomorrow how it really holds up.
So with Devin, you said you have no problems with him. But looking back and then looking at the last few weeks, there has been struggles getting out blocks, over pursuing plays. We saw some loafing yesterday, as you called it. Is there any point where the scenario comes up where you may look to see what Falcazzi can give you in that position?
Devin's our starter, and I didn't see some loafing. I saw a play, and you can point to anybody on this team where you say they weren't playing well any week of the season, so to pick on Devin is unnecessary.
When your team opened up the game and they made that huge defensive stop after that turnover, it seemed like they were playing defensively with so much confidence, that fire that they had, in weeks 1 and 2, early on in the season. And then that kind of eroded, and I don't know if it was around the time when the lead was lost, but what can you do to have the guys having that same mentality and belief and playing, 4 quarters that way?
The mentality's there. The mentality is always there. Then it's about playing fundamentally sound, not trying to press too much and doing the right things when your number is called upon. So that's the 4 quarters of it. It has nothing to do with the toughness. We know we have toughness. We just got to play smart for 4 quarters.
When Devin is sometimes out of position, I know like the Najee Harris, touchdown a few weeks ago in Pittsburgh, is that because he's pressing, because he's trying to make that big play, mental error?
No, again, I don't have a problem with Devin.
Todd, Tom revealed what he's going through in his personal life today. He made that public. Just from what you've seen, how much has that weighed on him? How much of a distraction has it been for him trying to do the job that he loves?
I can't say for sure. Tom's a very private person. He does his job when he's out here, and he smiles a lot, and that's really all you can go by. I think everybody, and no matter what profession you go through, some things, it's how you handle it and come out of it. I'm sure he has some waiting on him when he leaves work and everything. I don't know how much. I guess that's a question for him.
How difficult is it when you have such a demanding job like this one, when you're coming to work every day and it requires, especially in season, like a singular focus? How difficult can that be when you are dealing with things that have to do with family or personal issues on the side?
Well, like I told the guys last week, it's called life. You're not going to have a day where you don't deal with this type of stuff, whether you're working or not. You can be on vacation and deal with the same thing. This is not a new or a different type of deal for a lot of people in the world. It's life. You're going to have this whether you're a billionaire. You're going to have this whether you're broke. You're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have deaths in the family. You're going to have hard times. That's just part of life. You got to navigate as best you can and keep moving.
I know fourth down decisions can be tough, and you're nice enough to share kind of the rationale sometimes on things. Third quarter, I think it was a tie game. You guys had a 4th and 2 at the +47 and punted. Was there much thought to trying to go for it there?
Not really. The way the game was going, I mean, it was a close ball game against a good team. You don't want to give it back to them in good field position. So we tried to punt and keep them down there and get the ball back in good field position and try again.
Are there any guys that you're hoping you might be able to get back next week in the injury situation? I know Akeem Hicks, he was back in the locker room this week, had a big smile on his face. I don't know if there's a possibility he could be out there, maybe Sean.
Hopefully, we'll see him practice next week. Sean and Carlton and Hicks are close, but we'll see how close.
The first two drives of the game were, as expected, what did you want? Points on the board. But what did you see rewatching the tape that kind of fell apart after that?
I thought we mixed it up a little bit the first two drives of the game. I thought we got a little pass happy once we got going towards the end.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, you're still at the bottom in terms of rushing attempts. Would you like to see that change in general in games that you're not really that far out of?
Yeah, and I've discussed that with them. Obviously, we've had that discussion, and we'll be discussing it all weekend. So, but, for me, I would like to see a little more.
How much could you, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, is there anything else, like from a staff standpoint, I know you guys will meet, any significant changes with either what guys are doing on the staff or schematically or anything you think you'll undertake during these 10 days?
I'm sure schematically, we'll discuss what we're doing, who's up and who's down. We'll discuss that as well, but definitely schematically.
What's the schedule going to be like for you guys over these next few days while the players have a mini bye?
We'll be meeting, going over scheme and trying to get better.
Tuesday's first day back right now for players then.
Monday. Monday.
Will they be practicing Monday?
Yes,
And then normal Tuesday off.
correct.
Right. Sorry.
What kind of message did you give the team before guys departed for this weekend?
We own our record at 3-5. We lost. We understand we lost. We played hard. No consolation in playing hard. We got to get better, and we can only fix it. We're still in the dark place right now. We can only grind and get better at it. We can be better at it as coaches. They can be better at it as players. And as a team, we'll come together Monday and we'll get ready to work.
You mentioned that before, that it's not just on the players, that it's on the coaching staff and too. As a coach, how important do you think that is to have that kind of transparency with the players, saying, hey, we share in this too. It's not just on you guys, it's on us too.
It's very important. I mean, we're a team. We're a team. We're not going to shy away from things that we can get better at, and we don't shy away from things they can get better at. That's how you become a better team. That's how you remain close, and that's how you work your way out of the hole.
Players need to obviously execute better. That's a given. But you talk about the coaches need to do better as well. What exactly do you guys look at, and how do you get better yourselves as coaches?
Every time you lose a ball game or win a ball game, the first thing I know I do when I look at tape is see what I could have called better, what I could have done better, what was my fault, what I can't sleep with, what I can do better, and explain it to that person. That's the first thing I do. And we look at the coaches and make sure everybody's coaching their guys to do the right things and make sure they're in position to understand to do the right things. So you have to take self-evaluation before you could ever criticize a player as a coach, in my opinion.
Do you feel like this team is still responding to all the coaches on this team?
Yes, I do.
It's a week-to-week league, right?
Always.
Sometimes you're just a game away, but when you lose 3 in a row, it can seem like you're never going to win again. And when you win one, it can feel like you're never going to lose again. So in your experience in this league, how we talk about it being dark, but in reality, 3-5 in the division, that could be the top record in this division by Sunday. We don't know. So
It could be. We don't think about it like that right now, but it's a week-to-week league. You feel like you jump off a cliff and you don't feel good at all, and everything's depressing, and then you win a ball game or two, and everything's happy. So we just have to navigate the right way and keep doing the right things, and we'll come out of it.
And of all teams to face, right? It's the Rams coming up this week.
It really doesn't matter who we play this week. We need to work on ourselves. Yep.
Healthy and how healthy he is. So it's really tough right now to put a workload on him without really getting through the end of the week. I'll have a better idea of what he can do as we get more towards Friday. But right now, just good to just see him out there right now trying to work his way back in to do what he's doing. But once he's healthy, we expect Lenny to be Lenny.
And can you just speak to just what he has accomplished this year, what he has meant to your offense, all season?
Oh man, I mean, you can't beat it, right? It's hard to do better from the running back position for us for what we ask him to do. We ask him to catch it, we ask him to run it, we ask him to pass protect it. Him and Tom they're really good together out there. They have a good feel for each other. So like I tell you guys, I think Lenny